Hello and welcome to the Mid-County Safety Show. My name's Chloe.
And my name is Will. Today we're going to be having a quick look at choking. So first of all, we're going to cover how to identify the various stages of choking and how to effectively deliver that first aid that's required. First of all, let's start off by asking that question.
Are you choking?
Depending on the answer or the response that we get, this is going to determine the individual stage of choking. So if the casualty responds with a yes or is coughing, we know that this is going to be a mild or partial restriction. It may sound something such as yes, yes. We may also hear a sound such as inspiratory stridor. This may sound something like and is a key indicator of an upper airway restriction.
If the individual is unable to respond verbally or cough, we consider this to be severe or complete choking. Other indicators may be they may nod in response to your question, are unable to breathe, and may have a distressed look on their face, or if in the setting of a restaurant, they may stand up and start banging on the tables or point or grasp at their throat. If this is untreated, they may become unconscious.
So we can clearly see that this is a time-critical situation, and we can help this individual by delivering effective first aid. So first of all, what we want to do is identify if the individual is over the age or appears to be over the age of 12 months. We can clearly see that Clive does look over the age of 12 months, and this is a very important factor for reasons that we'll look at afterwards. So what we need to be doing is going side on to the patient or the casualty. We want to get our arm and brace across the chest. It's important that we are across the chest and not across the throat, otherwise we could be adding further resistance to the trachea. So across the chest, and to make sure that we're not fighting against the gravity, we're going to be leaning the casualty slightly forward. Then what we're going to do is deliver 5 effective sharp blows in between the shoulder blades. So first of all, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now in between each one of those blows, I was trying to see or hear if there was any obstruction escaping there. Just because we say 5, they might not require that full 5, unless you don't like them, of course. So what we're going to do then is deliver an abdominal thrust. Now the reason why we needed to look at the age is because a person under the age of 12 months of age should not receive an abdominal thrust. And we'll take a look at paediatrics in a moment. So what we need to do after those 5 sharp blows is the abdominal thrust. We're going to put one hand across the patient and another hand grasping the initial hand. The positioning is going to be in between the belly button and the solar plexus. And what we're going to be doing here is leaning slightly forward, once again not fighting against that gravity, and just pushing in and up. So it's one movement, but it has 2 elements to it. We're going in to connect with the diaphragm, and then we're going up to increase a positive pressure. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. If the obstruction still hasn't exited the body, we'll go straight away back to our 5 back blows, and then we'll start considering calling 999 or 112. So if the individual appears to be or is under the age of 12 months, which quite clearly Audrey and Tracy seem to be, we're going to do chest thrusts rather than abdominal thrusts. And this is very important because of the way that the rib cage will start to develop, and also the internal organs being further down. We can cause a lot of internal damage if we start going in with abdominal thrusts. So first of all, we'll either sit down or kneel down to create a nice solid working surface. Then we will get our arm underneath, in between, and we will hold on to the baby's mandible. So we're holding onto the chin and we're opening that airway, but we're not hyperextending. If we do hyperextend, we can actually cause more damage. So what we're going to do here, instead of blocking off the airway with hyperextension, we're just keeping it nice and neutral. We're going to go with our forearm on top of that nice solid working surface, once again with the baby slightly facing downhill, so we're not fighting against gravity. I'm then going to go in between the shoulder blades and deliver those 5 blows. After those 5 blows, if the object is still in there, what we're going to do is maintain the airway, and with the rest of my arm, you can see that I'm trying to be as much in line with the spine as I can be. I'm then going to transfer the individual over to the next solid working surface, once again pointing down. With 2 fingers, I'm going to go in between the nipple line, a little tiny bit down, and I'm going to create a chest thrust. So instead of all the way down like we do with CPR, it's going down and up, trying to create a positive pressure to hopefully blow it out. So in between the nipple line and very slightly down. Once we've done that, if the obstruction is still present, transfer straight the way over and continue whilst 999 are on their way. It's very important that any individual who has received an abdominal thrust seeks medical attention to assess any further damage that may have been made. Another thing to look out for is a person who feels like there is still some sort of obstruction or pain within there, a person who has difficulty swallowing, or even a person who has a persistent cough. Other things we can look out for is, whilst we are giving back blows or the abdominal thrust, if a person starts to deteriorate in terms of levels of response or their verbal response, maybe they start to lose colour, this is a clear indicator this person could be losing consciousness. So ease them to the floor and prepare for the commencement of CPR.
We do hope you have enjoyed this episode of the Mid-County Safety Show. For further information or course bookings, head over to midcountysafety.co.uk.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching.